All right, y'all, let's get right into this video. So I wanted to make a quick update on the Bitcoin price action, talk about what I am keeping an eye out for if I am looking for a long position. Now, first of all, why am I even looking for a long position? Well, let's start on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we have just printed a few days ago this green wave below the zero line. And historically, every time we print a green wave below the zero line, like we do right here, we have a huge move upward. Like we do right here, we have a huge move upward. Like we do back here, and we have a huge move upward. If we can see that, right? We have a huge move upward. Another thing that has just happened on the daily time frame is price has confirmed above the 21 exponential moving average, which, by the way, is ribbon 5 on Market Cipher A. We have confirmed above that 21 exponential moving average, which, again, historically signifies just a large move up, right? Every time we come below it and then we come back in this bull market, we have had a very significant move to the upside. So overall, on the daily time frame, things are looking quite bullish. Things are looking quite bullish. So now our job is to find a good entry, right? Because there's a few things that we need to keep in mind that could possibly be pushing the price lower. The first thing is we just had this crazy pump. Now, this pump, obviously we saw this thing coming. It might have been helped a little bit by the Visa news, right? Possibly, we talked about that in the live stream. But we just had this money flow crossover on Market Cipher B on the 4-hour time frame. We printed a red momentum wave. We came back down a little. Now we printed this green momentum wave, which kind of took a lot of people, including myself, by surprise, right? I was expecting price to come back down and test some of these lower levels and close the CME gap before continuing upward. Now what we're seeing is momentum is really cooling off. If we go to the 1-hour time frame, we have this red momentum wave that has printed here. If we go to the 2-hour time frame, we are printing on and off a red wave right here. So we have to wait, another hour and a half before this is confirmed. But what are we looking for? Well, on the 4-hour time frame, something very significant has happened, which is after a long time, we've had these two exponential moving averages cross. We had the 21 cross above the 55. Right here, I have the blue is the 21 EMA, and the purple is the 55 EMA. And if we zoom in here, we can see that they just crossed each other either yesterday or today. Today, like right around midnight, in this area, they crossed over each other. So this is another bullish sign on top of the daily time frame, which is extremely bullish. Now, what would I really want to wait for if I was looking to enter a swing long position? Well, when we look at the past, what happens is when on the 4-hour we get a money flow cross from the red into the blue, we notice that we also come up and price confirms above those two moving averages. They cross over each other, so the blue is above the purple, and then price comes down and gets a nice bounce off of that moving average. And when we get the bounce off that moving average, in my mind, that solidifies, like right here as well, guys. That solidifies, we have price come up, we get the bounce off, and that solidifies the move. So what I would really be looking for, because we had such a crazy pump and because price is so high above the moving averages, I would really like to see price come down and at least get close to this 21 EMA. At least get close to here. Perhaps it won't happen the same as it happens every time, but here's what I'm looking at. This morning I was saying I wanted price to cool off a little bit. This morning we were printing, I don't think we were quite yet printing this red wave on Market Cipher B on the 24-minute. But I remember I started the live stream and we were up here. I was telling everybody, please don't FOMO into the trade. You want to wait until you have the momentum in your favor. And if the momentum is in your favor and price is up here, this would be the trade that we would take. I was coming up with a plan in case that scenario were to play out. It still very well may play out, guys. It still very well may play out. Now, here are some possible scenarios. Scenario number 1, we get price coming down to this this previous resistance, which is now support at the $56,870 level, give or take. This is actually a support that I drew on the 1-hour time frame, but if we look at the 4-hour time frame, it was resistance all the way back in the middle of March. It was resistance again, then it became support, and it became support, it became resistance, and then it was resistance here when we broke out. So if we come back and test this price, it would give Market Cipher a lot of time to cool off before we can get another push forward. Now, again, we need to keep our eyes on the 4-hour Market Cipher B. And the reason for that is this. It could go two ways right now. It can go two ways, so we really need to pay attention. Because we already printed this green trigger wave, we don't have anything fresh to work with, right? Typically, if I'm trading my 4-hour, 24-minute strategy, I'm looking to get in on a fresh 4-hour wave, right? A fresh 4-hour trigger wave where when the wave prints, right, I'm looking to enter at my next confirmation on the 24-minute. However, this is not fresh. This is a little bit stale. It's been sitting on the counter all night, and so we don't know how much freshness is left in here. If we notice that this wave is starting to look like it's going to print a red dot, then I would be very, very careful entering here, even if the 24-minute is giving us bullish confirmations. But again, it's also very possible, typically, when we start getting a money flow crossover, these 4-hour waves can get very high, right? I'd say this is the average height that these 4-hour waves can get. So it's very, very plausible that we still have some upward room here, right? If this wave continues up like this, we could get another pump here. Now, this is why we need to pay attention, because depending on what the 4-hour and the 24-minute does, and it's open more to interpretation here because, unfortunately, we don't have clear dots that we can look at. But if that 4-hour still remains bullish, and we are getting something very clear on the 24-minute, like a clear, tight green trigger wave right here, that would be a great time to enter. That would be a great time to enter long, especially if, it lets us break out of this resistance. If momentum is in our favor, then we have our nice trade right here where we have our entry, our stop loss, right below the support, and then we'd have our take profit levels, right? Our first one obviously is like 59, then it would be 60, then it would be 61. These are previous resistances that I would set my take profit levels at. So these are things to keep our eyes on, guys. I think we really could see something start to transpire here. And so this is what I'm keeping my eyes on, guys. I'm keeping my eyes on this, and don't take anything off the table. We need to always trade what the charts say, right? If we're looking at our 4-hour time frame, and if the 4-hour time frame is giving us bearish momentum, we definitely don't want to enter. Right now, the 1 hour is curving down, right? We've got that downward momentum on the 1 hour. So the 2 hour, again, this has been on and off with the printing of the red wave. But if we just draw on Market Cipher, if we just draw on this right here on the 2 hour, we can see a clear direction upwards, right? And we can see just very clearly that upward direction. So let us see what happens. Let us see what happens here. This to me is a deciding point where we will know, are we going to keep pumping up, or are we going to see the price come down a little bit more? And if we do come down, guys, again, it just makes sense that we'd come back down to this level right here, because not only would that allow Market Cipher to cool off, it would also allow us to get a bounce off our 4-hour EMAs. It would also allow us to retest the breakout of this falling wedge, as well as this daily support level. So this is what I'm looking at, guys. Just wanted to make a quick update for y'all. Thank you, and I will see y'all soon.